This is the Euro Aussie on the 5 range. This is a head and shoulders I've been monitoring all morning, and I've just got my entry using a higher high, higher close just here. So 1 in, 1 out for me this. I'm going to go ahead here and do the high time frame analysis. So here on the dailies we had a move lower, a pullback, another move lower. We haven't yet come down to retest these lows just here, so I am expecting price to come a little lower. So this is why this trade is only a 1 in, 1 out for me rather than playing for extended targets, because I'm expecting price to come a little lower at some point. Right here though we have a big lower close candle, clear sign here that there is a lot of selling pressure. What we can sometimes get, and we're actually seeing that now, is the next candle here was a hold, and we can sometimes see price retrace, sometimes even all the way up to the top. Doesn't always happen. Of course price moves 2 directions, down and up, eventually anyway, and but with this amount of selling pressure, if we don't get the follow through straight away, we can sometimes see price retrace a little bit. So let's go and have a look at the 60, and this is what interests me here. Big 60-minute higher high, higher close, and then we're just trading pretty much inside this candle here, an indication that we could see a little pop to the upside. Could even see, yeah, we could even see a flag pattern set up here, to be honest. Let's go down to the 15. Here on the 15 you can actually see this head and shoulders. I'm actually going to go to the 5 range because that's what I've used as the entry. So here in the 5 range we have a very nice bearish run. Left shoulder, head, we made an initial structure high, we pulled back, we had a higher high, higher close. On the 15 we did have RSI confirmation. I am then looking for the completion of an AB equals CD pattern, which is pretty much always first targets on this type of trade, but because I do believe on the higher time frame we can come lower, then this is what I'm looking at. So what I've done here, I've got my stop below the left shoulder, because if price does come down to retest that left shoulder, I want to be an ATR below it. I'm actually an ATR plus 3 pips just to give this plenty of room. Targets playing for that AB equals CD pattern. I do think we could go a little higher actually, but so what does that mean then in terms of risk? 27 for 32, not a great risk to reward, but we've got an initial structure high here indicating a potential rotation. We've had a very bearish run. We're looking for a little bit of relief. We had a higher high, higher close on the 60-minute, so really just looking for a pop here to the upside. Okay, we're back for an update here. Currently 22 pips up now. We did get up to 27. The Euro Aussie is a mover, so even this one candle is 10 pips of movement. But what we've done now, because this was in an initial structure high, we pulled back and we've made a new structure high. If you look here, we have clearly broken above it, putting us in trend. I can actually reduce the risk down on this now to just an ATR below the lows, implement risk management. So I'm going to want to be 35, so I can shave 5 pips off this now, make this less risk, and that gives me now 23 pips left on the table. We're back, we're on the 15, and what a horrible trade this has been. When I say horrible, I mean it's just, I like it when those trades are just direct and they rally up and hit targets quite quickly. I don't like it when they, we made a new high, we pulled all the way back down, and then we have just been drifting up very slowly. I prefer to be in and out the trades. Like to be out the trades before 10, so I don't pay any rollover fees as well. But anyway, right now we're 27 pips up. As we do approach those actual targets, I will be reducing down the risk on this trade. I'll set the alert there. One thing, as I say, I've read structure on this, and I do believe at some point we can come lower. What can happen though is when we see big bearish runs like this, sometimes we can actually recoup the bulk of this candles. The thing is, I can't go for secondary targets because price isn't telling me that we can go higher. But very often we can see it go up, and I was contemplating going for secondary targets up here, but again, price hasn't told me that. So regardless what I think, I can only go off what the chart is actually telling me. We're back for the last part of the video, and it is 7 in the morning. I've woken up to this trade winning. I've just redrawn out the head and shoulders here. This is, I think here is where we got back involved with the trade, and stops, I said, were under this left shoulder here, and as you can see, if I put a structure level on, price came down to that zone, did not get stopped out, and then rallied to hit targets. Did mention in this video as well, and I love it when it comes off like this, I did say that, you know, even though price isn't telling me if we can come up to retest the highs, I did say that, you know, with these big long moves here, I have noticed that we do have a higher probability of rallying up there, and this is one of the areas where I've been falling down for secondary targets, because, you know, there was 100 pips up for grab there for secondary targets, which I didn't monetize on, but nevertheless, there we go, lovely head and shoulders for plus 37.